Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are having a good day so far. So in this video today we'll be building this JavaScript calendar. So basically we have the month, the day name, the year, and also the current time. And today, the day that I'm recording this video is April 3rd on a Saturday 2021 at 1:34. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to the calendar, so let's get started. So I'm just going to get rid of all of this except leave this link right here. So I'm going to highlight, get rid of all of this, generate my boilerplate code, and this is where we can get started with our HTML. So I'll create a div, give an ID of container, then another div, give an ID of container. This should have been calendar, not container, my bad. And then inside of this container, it's going to store several spans. So this one will be month name, and we'll also give it some placeholder text, NA. And then another span, this will be day name, NA as well. And then span ID equals day number, then span ID of year. And then we can create a div inside of this div container and give an ID of time, and create a span with the ID of hour, and then span ID equals, not ID, it should be class, because this will be our colon separating our hours from minutes and minutes from seconds. So there we go, we type our colon, and after that we can create another span, and then we'll just copy this right here, paste it down here, and I'll create one last span. This will be our seconds. So basically all we've done is create our basic structure for our calendar. So we have our month name, our day name, day number, year, time, and all of our time units. And this link right here, we'll paste it into our head tag. So let's go do that right now. I'm just going to highlight this, copy it, then paste it up here. And since this link is in a comment, it won't get referenced into our code unless we explicitly pasted it into our head tag. And this is where we can start styling our calendar. So the first thing I'll style will be first I'm going to select my universal selector and then style everything in my web page and give it a font family of Roboto Slab Serif. And then the body will have this. So it's basically just this image right here. So now if we refresh, we should have our image. And then we can paste our body just like that. And you notice how our image is repeating like 4 times. We don't want that repeating effect, so we're just going to do background repeat, no repeat, so that it doesn't repeat. And now you'll notice that it only covers this much space. We want this image to cover up the entire space of our browser. So we can do that by doing background size cover. So this will cover up everything. Well, it should, but we forgot one more property. Background attachment fixed, and now that should do the job. Yep, you see now our image is a little dimmer because we gave it this linear gradient right here. If we were to get rid of it, like I can just highlight this, get rid of all that. Now it got brighter, but we want to dim it a little bit so that it's not too bright and we can actually see our calendar. And then the next thing we'll style will be our calendar. We'll just give it a width of 100 v width, height of 100 height, display flex, so we're using flexbox, and then flex direction column. So basically our calendar element will be positioning all of its elements within it, so all the elements that is within this div container right here, so it's all of this that I'm highlighting, it's going to position it, it's going to stack it vertically since I did flex direction column, so it's going to be a vertical stack. And for all of our span, we want to give them a font size of 4.5 rem to make it a little bigger to read. And then we'll style our container and give it a height of 50% with 40.3%. You can change that up if you want to make it wider or narrower depending on what you like. And then we'll do background color RGBA 255, 255, 255, 0.4. So whenever we use RGBA, it allows us to pass in 4 values. The The first three values are just our colors. So R stands for red, G stands for green, B stands for blue, and our last one is alpha, and this controls our opacity. So if we were to, like right now, you notice how you can see the flower through our container, right? So if we set this to 1, which is the default value, you can no longer see it because it's no longer transparent. Well, 40% transparent. So we're gonna do 40% so we can see it, and the white isn't as harsh as it was before. And we'll also use flexbox for our container, and we'll do flex direction column. Justify content will be center, align items will be center, and then position absolute. So position absolute gives us access to 4 properties: top, left, right, and bottom. That's basically what it does. So we want to move it top 50% and then left 50%. And we'll also do transform translate -50%, which is our x, and then -50% as well. The second value is our y. So now it's right in the center of our browser. And then after that we can give it a box shadow of 0, 0, 30 pixels black, so that it shows up a little better on our image. And then we can do border radius, set it to be 20 pixels, padding 10 pixels 0, so we're only giving padding to the top and bottom, but not the left and right. And then transition will be 0.2s linear. This will take effect whenever we add any hover properties or any focus properties onto our container, which we might in a minute. We can do that right now if we want to, so we can do filter blur 4 pixels. So basically this this blurs our container, and to unblur we can do hashtag container hover, and when we hover over it, we want the filter property, we want the blur to be 0. So now you'll notice that it transitions from blurry to not blurry in 0.2 seconds. So you can do that if you want to, but I'm just going to not do that in this video. And then after that we can style our time, do display flex, flex direction, row. And now our time is positioned horizontally instead of vertically, since most digital clocks, hours, minutes, and seconds aren't positioned vertically. That would just look weird and hard to read. And then month name will be background color. This will be a hexadecimal color value, so I'll do 37 E666 with 100% text align center, border radius 20 pixels 20 pixels 0 0, and that basically styles our month right here. So it gets this nice green neon color, lime color. And then we can style our span, make its color white, width to be 100%, and then text align center. So now it'll move somewhere over here. Yes. And that's pretty much all we need for our CSS. So we're done with that. We can move on to some JavaScript. And I'm just going to create 2 script tags instead of creating a new script file. You can do that if you want to. It's up to you. I'm just going to do it this way since it doesn't involve making too many files. And then I'll create a function called start time. Const lang equals navigator.language. This is just going to get the language for our calendar. And then var day number equals new date, and then get date var month equals new date dot get month, var day name equals new date dot to locale string. And we're just going to pass in our lang, and also it's sort of like an object because we're using a set of curly braces. And we'll do weekday and set it to be equal to long. And we'll do the same for our month, so we'll do var month name equals new date dot to locale string. This will be lang for our first parameter, set of curly braces, month, long. Okay, and then we'll create another variable for our year, so we'll do new date dot get full year. That's how you access the current year. And then we'll do var hour equals new date dot get hours, and we'll do var minute equals new date dot get minutes. So those are pretty straightforward. And var second equals new date dot get seconds. And we're just going to create some if statements, starting with if hour is less than 10. So if hour is less than 10, then it's going to be one digit. So we'll have to add a 0 in front of it so it'll look like it's 2 digit. That's basically what we're doing for each of our hour, minute, and seconds. So hour equals 0 in a set of quotes plus hour. So it's basically the same thing as it was before, except with the 0 in front of it. And then we'll create another if statement for our minute. So if minute is less than 10, minute equals 0 plus minute. And if second is less than 10, second equals 0 plus minute. And we now just have to do document.getElementById, select our month name, then do .innerHTML equals month name. And we might as well create an interval, so var interval equals set interval start time. That's the name of our function, and we want this to run every second. So now our month should appear, yes, so it's April right now, and we just have to do this for all the others. So we'll just do document.getElementById day name .innerHTML equals day name. And now we should have Saturday, but we don't because I messed it up. Oh, the day isn't capital, the N isn't capitalized, that's why I did wrong. So now we have Saturday, which is correct. And then document.getElementById day number .innerHTML equals day number. And we should get 3. Yes. And document.getElementById year.innerHTML equals year. And then document.getElementById, and I forgot the E in element, that would have caused an error. And then we'll do hour.innerHTML equals hour. Then document.getElementById minute.innerHTML equals minute. And since minutes and seconds are basically the same thing except one says seconds and one says minutes, we'll just copy and paste that and change this in second. And this will be second. And now our calendar is complete. So that's pretty much it for the video, guys. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, please comment down below any video ideas, any comments, or any questions you may have. Leave them in the comments down below and I'll reply back to you as soon as possible. Once again, thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day. See you in my next video.